Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm doing an updated Q&A. I asked you guys to ask me your questions on my Instagram, so I'm going to go through those questions right now and see what y'all want to know. So I asked you guys to post your questions on my Instagram account. If you missed out, then I will have my Instagram link listed down below, as well as all of my other social media platforms. But I got quite a few questions, so I'm going to try to get through as many as possible. And the first one I see is from Lindsay May Loves, and she says, what is your favorite thing about Nashville? So I live an hour outside of Nashville, roughly, but growing up I was actually closer to Knoxville, so I'm a lot more familiar with Knoxville than I am Nashville, even though I have lived closer to Nashville for 4 years now. I've been in college, so I really haven't had that much time to travel back and forth to Nashville. I would say we probably go once a month. But if I had to pick one of my favorite things in Nashville to do, me and Will got into hockey a couple years back, and so we started going to the Nashville Predators, which is our hockey team. Carrie Underwood's husband plays for them, so there's always like rumors that she's at the hockey games. So yeah, we've been going to hockey games. Actually, we didn't get to go to any this past year because they were really good and all of the tickets were sold out. So we really like going to hockey games. Obviously, Broadway is a really big attraction in Nashville. There's really great places to eat as well. But I haven't really like discovered indie Nashville, you know, like the restaurants that are, you know, not super popular but are really, really good. So now that I'm out of school, I really do want to make a point to try to find those places and just meet little places that I haven't been to yet. Caitlin Ling says, what is your favorite fruit? Hands down, either strawberry or pineapple. I would probably say that pineapple is my favorite, but I eat strawberries more because they're just easier to deal with. I never really buy pineapple because I don't like to take the time to cut that up and get the spikes off and all that jazz. So anytime I have the option to have fresh pineapple, I will go for that straight up. It is so delicious. So yeah, I would definitely have to say strawberry or pineapple. Aaron Epps 86 says, what do you do to cheer yourself up after something sad happens? Most of the time whenever I'm feeling kind of down or upset, I will try to remove myself from that situation, whatever I'm in. A lot of the times, being on YouTube is really hard because you're very critical of yourself, you're your own worst critic, and a lot of the times I will film videos for you guys and I will get done editing them and I won't like the way that they turn out, and I will just completely like delete the video. I won't even carry on with editing. And I'm really hard on myself in that aspect, and so when something like that happens, I just try to remove myself from the situation. So I'll just stop editing, I'll forget what I'm doing for that night, and me and Will just watch Netflix, or recently we've been watching Shark Week. Holla to the Shark Week fans out there. But yeah, I really just try to think positive. I showed you guys this on my Instagram a lot, but I have a lot of inspirational pictures up in my house. The one behind me right now says good things are going to happen, and then I have one in my living room that says good things take time. I think all good things take time. So I try to keep like positive things like that in my house, and I really just try to remove myself from the situation that's making me upset. Maggie Woo 404 says, what is your most favorite makeup product ever? Love you, Shelby. I love you too. I see you commenting on my stuff all the time, so thank you for your support. Oh gosh, my most favorite makeup product ever. I would hands down have to go with my Bare Minerals Original Foundation, because that is something that really sparked me into makeup and makeup artistry. That was the first high-end foundation I ever used, and still to this day it is my most used product. I mean, I wear my Original Foundation at least once a week, and I would definitely say if there's one thing I couldn't live without, it'd be that. Ashley Lanier, I think, says, do you have anything in the works with a certain makeup brand? The only thing right now that I am doing, other than the fact that I do work with several brands on my blog just reviewing products, so if you don't read my blog, it will be listed down below, y'all. I review crap on there all the time, like more than I do on here, okay? So that will be listed down below. But the only thing that I'm doing right now is I am in the top 30 for the Pacifica Muse contest. And so if you missed my last video on that topic, I will have it listed down below. But basically, Pacifica is looking for their new muse, which is basically like the face of their company for a whole year. And I'm doing that right now with them. I've been fortunate enough to be working with them for probably the past 6 months on reviewing their products. And so I was fortunate that I had the opportunity to do this. And they just sent us the challenge for the next video. So basically, we have to do 2 more challenges, and then they will pick the winner for whoever they think is the best muse. But our next challenge is to pick your favorite decade and do a video over that, a makeup tutorial on that. So I'm really excited for you guys to see that video, and I would really appreciate your support because I think for this round, people actually have to vote for you. So I will have all of that information listed down below. I will definitely keep you guys updated on Instagram and my Facebook page. Again, all of those links will be listed down below. But I'm not going to tell you which decade I'm picking just because, I don't know, it may be a decade that everyone else is picking, but it is hands down my favorite, and I just kind of wanted it to be a surprise for you guys. So that's really all I'm doing right now. Paige Turk says, what was your least favorite and favorite part about being a communication major, and why did you choose that major? I'm going into my 2nd year of college this fall, and I'm planning on being a communication major. So I'm really interested in hearing any advice you have for college students or communication majors in general. I'm just going to let you guys know I will probably talk about this for a solid 10 minutes, so I may put a time bar down here if you want to skip past this. But long story short, why did I choose communication? I was actually a SPED major for I think an entire year and a half while I was in college. And at the time, I was really interested in speech pathology, and I wanted to, in my head, I had this amazing plan, you know, like all freshmen have. They think, you know, life is so easy. But I had this, you know, like plan in my head to where I was going to be a SPED teacher for a couple years whenever I got out of college, and then while I was getting my master's for speech pathology, I could still be making money. No, I have the utmost respect for educators and teachers in general, especially special education teachers. I figured out really quickly that I would never make it as a teacher. I just know I would not have the patience, mainly for parents. So I decided, you know, that wasn't for me, and I was thinking to myself, you know, what do I like? What am I good at? What is something that's going to be interesting to me? So I basically went down through our university catalog and just looked at classes for each major, and the classes that just basically resonated with me the most were the classes in communication. So that's why I chose communication. It was kind of on a whim, and I just really figured out that I enjoyed it quickly, and so I stuck with it. What is my least favorite part about being a communication major? It's important to know that your communication department is probably going to be different based on your school. Some are heavily focused in journalism, some are heavily focused in marketing, advertising, news broadcasting, sports. It's really going to depend on which school you go to. My personal communication department is heavily focused in journalism, and surprisingly, that was my least favorite part about being a communication major. I am so grateful that I have the knowledge that I do in the journalism field. But journalism is just something that just didn't really resonate with me. It just didn't. It was just something I knew I didn't want to do. Regardless of if I was good at it or not, it was a very stressful thing for me to get through in school because our degree was so heavily focused in journalism. We had to interview people weekly. We had to write multiple stories weekly. And when you have a deadline of 2 days and your source isn't getting back to you, you can't write a story without a quote. So that part was very stressful for me. Luckily, we did have many other classes that weren't focused in journalism. So I would have to say my favorite part of being a communication major, other than the fact that I really kind of honed in on like my speaking skills and my communication skills. My favorite part was definitely writing, and not in terms of like writing news stories, but in terms of writing feature stories. So I didn't figure out, I didn't really get into my niche of communication and writing until I took feature writing, which was an advanced course. And basically feature writing is just a class where you write about personal accounts in your life, and you write about, for example, we wrote about heroes in our life. We wrote about, you know, craziest thing that had ever happened to us. We wrote about sacred cows, which obviously are people that are famous that should not be famous or that we think shouldn't be famous. And at the beginning of the year, our teachers told us that basically the stories that we were writing might be considered for publishing in our university magazine, which was called Eagle Eye. And he said, you know, I'll probably have 3 or 4 stories out of your class that will be considered for the Eagle Eye magazine. And he was like, most of the time I don't have more than 5. So the thing that I guess I'm most proud of in college and that I was most excited about was in that class I wrote probably 8 stories, and my teacher or my professor chose every single one of my stories for consideration for the university magazine. And I just never knew that I was good at writing until that moment that he told me I have never chosen all of the stories that someone has written for the semester. I mean, it was just crazy. Every week I would get an email saying, hey Shelby, you know, I just want to let you know I chose your story for consideration in the magazine. And it was like clockwork. Like every week I was getting this email and I just couldn't believe it. And so at the end of the year, he actually gave me an award because he just said he had never done that for anyone. And I just really enjoyed writing about personal things in my life, and yeah, just telling stories, and I like to put my own spin on my writing. So yeah, that was my favorite part, I guess I would have to say, about being a communication major. So that was long, but we're gonna move on now. What is your favorite season and why? Probably 4 years ago, whenever I was dieting and working out and looking all, you know, fancy, I would have said summer. Now it's definitely fall. Something about just an in-between weather, like not too hot, not too cold. I really love that. I love fall fashion. I love Bath & Body Works fall candles. Just the scenery in Tennessee is beautiful in the fall. I really want to go to Vermont in the fall because I've heard it's just like mind-blowing there. So if you live in Vermont, let me know what's up with that because I've heard it's really, really pretty. M. Ohana or Mahana 0301 says, how's the new house going? Are you fully unpacked and settled in the neighborhood? Hope it's suiting you. No, I'm not fully unpacked. Basically, the only thing that's not, like, everything's not put up yet is in my beauty room, and it's just because I have so much space that I really need to buy more storage bins and like storage units to put stuff in. So actually in front of me right now there's still stuff like in the floor that I haven't put up yet. But I don't have everything done decorating, and this is something that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I've been thinking about doing a series on decorating on a budget. So instead of giving you guys a full house tour, I was thinking that we could do different sections of my house, and for each video I could show you guys like for example my living area. I could show you how I saved money for that area, where the pieces came from, where my furniture decorations came from, and I think I'm going to show you guys how to put together a collage wall because I'm fixing to do that up over my couch. So I thought I may start a series on decorating on a budget, and we could just do different sections of my house at a time. I thought that might be cooler than just giving you guys a full-on house tour. Plus you can see the process of, you know, me decorating and all of that fun stuff. So if you're interested in that, then let me know because I've been thinking about doing it. I just need your feedback. Tegan Jade said, by the way, I love the name Tegan. Like, I think that is such a beautiful name. So, love your name, Tegan. She says, do you like country music and who is your favorite artist? Funny story, I actually hated country music. I mean, literally despised country music growing up. It wasn't until a couple years ago that I actually started like listening to it in the car. I'm still not like a huge country music fan, but if there's one artist I could pick that I am a huge fan of, it is definitely Zac Brown Band. I am such a huge Zac Brown Band fan. I love all of their music. It's just so like beachy and mellow and laid back, and yeah, that's pretty much the only country music artist that I could hands down say that I really love. Leo the cat says, what is your favorite childhood memory? Gorgeous as always. Thank you so much. One of my favorite childhood memories was definitely going out on the road with my dad. My dad has been a truck driver his entire life, and he owned his own company for the majority of my childhood, so I could go trucking with him anytime I wanted, and we would just go like all over the states. The furthest I think we went was Michigan. We went to Detroit one time.
I don't think I'm be going back there anytime soon.
But yeah, I really love just hanging out with him and just like driving around. When we'd stop at truck stops, he'd let me load up on junk food. One time, do you guys remember when KFC came out with those laptop boxes? They were just literally cardboard boxes that looked like laptops. They had like chicken, mashed potatoes, and a fruit roll-up in them. Okay, we drove around, and this was before iPhones, before Siri. We drove around some state, I can't remember where it was, forever looking for a KFC. We finally found one. We pull in and we saw the advertisement for the laptop box. As soon as we pull in, they closed. Oh my gosh, I was so mad. And I'm sure my dad was mad too, because he was driving this big truck around trying to find me a freaking laptop box. But yeah, I really loved going out on the road with my dad. Okay, so I'm probably going to have to end the video on this question, and this is a question that I literally get weekly. I'm not even joking. Even my UPS guy at work asked me this, and this is from Laura Hubrick, and she says, when are you and Will getting married? You guys are so cute together. Thank you, and you don't know how many times I get asked this a week. It is ridiculous. So me and Will have been together for over 5 years now. And I don't know how to word this without sounding offensive. I have nothing against people who get married at an early age. I understand that's probably what like their parents did, their grandparents did, but me and Will, I guess, are just not very traditional in that aspect. Like, we really want to be established in our careers before we get married. We really want to feel like stable. We also want to travel a lot. Not that we couldn't do that when we get married, but we just really aren't in a rush to do that. And it's not that we don't want to. It's just that we're both on the same level of, we're like fine where we're at. I mean, we just like, I don't want to deal with like the stress of that. Like right now I'm only 22. Am I 22 or 20? I'm 22. I can't even remember how old I am. But yeah, I can't give you guys an estimate on when we're going to get married, because first of all, I don't know, that's his job also to do all that, because like, this is just, okay, this is weird for me. And again, I'm not trying to be offensive, and if you've done this, again, I'm not trying to be offensive, it's just strange to me. And I have had friends who have done this, but I feel like so many people now are planning their proposals. Like, the girls will already have the ring picked out, like they tell them what ring they want, and they know that their boyfriends have already bought the ring, and then they pretty much know when they're going to get engaged. Like, I heard a story about a planned proposal. The guy and the girl both knew they were going to get engaged. Okay, my ass ain't okay with that. Like, this better be a surprise. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't want to know what the ring looks like. I don't want to know where it's going to happen, when it's going to happen. It's going to be a surprise, but it's not going to be anytime like within the next year or a couple years. I mean, like, we just, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, we're good. We're good where we're at. It'll happen, but we're good where we're at. Okay guys, so that is it for the video. If you'd like to leave questions for me for future videos down below, you can go ahead and do that, and I will come back and refer to this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I always love doing questions like this for you guys. It's a little bit different than just, you know, sticking with the basic beauty routine. So yeah, if you have any questions for me that you want me to answer in the next video, leave them down below. And thank you guys so much for submitting your questions. Every time I do this, I'm like, I'm not gonna get any questions, like why do I do this? And you guys always amaze me with the questions that you ask. So thank you so much, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.